Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida insurance.
Hello. My name is Roshonda, agency owner of the Isom Insurance Group, right here in the sunshine state of Florida, here for another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. It's free Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. October the 3rd, 2025, which means I'm answering a real customer's question or a question that came from a prospect this week. And today's question is one I hear all the time, especially here in Florida, where auto insurance is among the most expensive in the country. The question is, do I really need comprehensive and collision coverage on my older car, or should I switch to liability only? That's a fantastic question. And the answer depends on a few key things. Your car's value, your budget, and how much financial risk you're willing to take. We'll break this down with examples, some Florida specific risks, and money saving tips that can help you make the right call. All right, let's dive in. When people say they have everything covered, or the favorite, full coverage, which here we do not use that term ever. What they usually mean is that they carry liability, comprehensive, and collision coverage. Liability is the minimum required by Florida law. Again, just to recap, Florida only requires that you carry basic property damage liability of $10,000 and personal injury protection coverage. Liability covers just certain medical expenses and any damage you cause to someone else's property. That's if you have bodily injury liability, but property damage liability only covers damage to the other person's car, and that's the minimum that you're required to have. And just to recap, comprehensive coverage steps in when something happens to your car that's not an accident. So anything outside of a collision, that could be like theft of the car, the vehicle stolen, vandalism, fire, even hurricane, like water damage, flood damage. And then collision covers your own vehicle if you're in a crash, regardless of who's at fault. So no matter who's at fault for an accident, you always can go under your collision coverage. Your deductible always applies unless you choose not to have a deductible on that coverage. So when you carry liability, comprehensive, and collision together, you've got protection not just for others, but also for your own car. Now let's look at the other side. If you decide to carry liability only, you're still legal to drive in Florida, but your protection is extremely limited. If your car is stolen, damaged in a storm, or totaled in an accident, the insurance company won't be cutting you a check. No. That means you're paying out of pocket to repair or replace it yourself. The trade-off is cost. Liability only can be 40 to 60% cheaper than carrying liability plus comprehensive and collision coverage. Let's put some numbers to this because that's where the decision really becomes clear. On average, liability plus comprehensive and collision in Florida costs around $3,200 a year, which is about $272 a month. Liability only runs closer to $1,200 a year, or about $100 a month. That's a difference of about $2,000 every year. Take Maria, for example. She drives a 2010 Honda Accord worth about $3,500. Her broader coverage costs her $2,400 per year. If she switched to liability only, she'll be paying just $900. In this case, she's essentially paying $2,400 to protect a $3,500 car. That math really doesn't add up in her favor. But now let's look at Kevin. He drives a 2021 SUV worth about $26,000. His comprehensive and collision coverage costs $2,800 per year, while liability only would be about $1,000 per year. Big savings, right? But if Kevin totals his SUV tomorrow, he's only out $2,600 if he doesn't have collision and comprehensive coverage. In his case, keeping that extra coverage makes a lot more sense. Many financial experts use this simple rule of thumb. If you're paying 10% or more of your car's value each year just for comprehensive and collision coverage, it may be time to consider liability only. Of course, here in Florida, this decision isn't just about the numbers. Our state has some very real risks to think about. Hurricanes and storms are at the top of that list. If a tree falls on your car during a hurricane, only comprehensive coverage would cover it. If your car is stolen, another factor where Florida ranks high for vehicle thefts across the country. Without comprehensive, you'll be left without a payout if your car disappeared. We also have one of the highest rates of uninsured drivers in the United States. If someone without insurance hits you and you only carry liability, you're left paying for your own repairs. And don't forget financing. If your car is leased or financed, your lender will almost always require you to keep comprehensive and collision coverage until it's paid off. Liability only is an option when you own your car outright. So, how do you make this decision for yourself? Start by finding out what your car is worth. You can check sites like the NADA, Edmunds, or use a trade-in calculator online. Once you know the value, compare it to what you're paying for comprehensive and collision coverage each year. Then ask yourself the hard question. If your car was totaled tomorrow, could you afford to replace it on your own? If your car is only worth $4,000 and you're paying $1,500 each year for comprehensive and collision coverage, that probably doesn't make sense. But if losing that car will leave you without transportation and no savings to replace it, maybe keeping the coverage is still worth the peace of mind. It really comes down to both math and personal comfort level. Here are a few extra tips. Review your auto policy every year. Again, I preach this from the mountaintop. You should be reviewing your policies at least one time per year. If your agent is not reaching out to you one time per year at least to review your policies, find another agent. Call our office. We do it for all of our customers. Because car values drop and premiums can change quickly. What made sense a couple of years ago might not be the same today. If you're worried about dropping comprehensive and collision coverage altogether, there also is a middle ground. Some drivers choose liability plus comprehensive but skip collision coverage. That way, they're still protected against vehicle being stolen and storms, but at a lower price. And most importantly, don't make your decision just because a friend or a neighbor did. Everyone's situation is different. The right answer depends on your vehicle, your budget, and how much risk you're willing to take. So there you have it. Today's free Friday quick bite episode. The big question was, do I really need comprehensive and collision on my older car, or should I switch to liability only? The bottom line is this. If the math shows you're paying close to what your car is worth, just to keep the extra coverage, liability only may make financial sense. But if you can't afford to replace your car tomorrow, keeping that extra protection could be the safety net you really need. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share it, and drop your comments below with the next with any questions you have or any topics you'll want from me to cover in an upcoming quick bite episode. And remember, a new quick bite episode drops Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. So enjoy your weekend, because I will not have any quick bite episodes for Saturday and Sunday, but we'll be back for a brand new episode on Monday at 2 p.m. And always remember, this video is for educational purposes only. It should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult with a licensed insurance professional about your unique situation. This is Roshonda with the Isom Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isominsurancegroup.com.